What's good, y'all? We back on Planet Rell, and today I present to you the full story of the Failsafe Saga, written by Zdarsky and George Jimenez. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we can talk in the comments whenever y'all done watching it. Enjoy the video.
We see Alfred in the Batcave, and he starts to hear a beep. Then the beeps just keep on going, like, what's going on? Then we cut to this scene. We see 3 Jokers, which made me think about the 3 Joker storyline. And then we see all of the Bat family members are dead, which I'm thinking it's a nightmare sequence, and it turns out it is a nightmare sequence. So now Bruce calls Selena just to check up on her because he was thinking about her. But then their conversation gets interrupted by somebody who was with Selena. So Bruce hears it, then he tells her that he has to go. Then he realizes that he needs to let go of the past and leave it in the past, because right now in the present, Gotham needs Batman. And come back to this real quick. If you didn't know, I know you possibly are putting 2 and 2 together. Yes, Batman and Catwoman were together, if you didn't know. And they almost got married. So that's why Bruce just needs to let go of the past and just handle what's right now in the present. So now we're at the crime scene. We see Batman going in to investigate. And we see the criminal saying he swear to God. But Batman like, not God. Not even close. And then he rushes the dude. While the tried to take off running like. Then Batman just throws him out the building. But he's hanging outside just so the cops can get him. And so now Bruce is in shock. And I'm just wondering why. And then we see why. The people at the crime scene are dead. And now we see Batman just attack the dude. And then the dude is like, bro, I ain't mean to. And Batman just like, shut up. Who sent you? And lo and behold, it's Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot. And he just talking down on the rich and wealthy and despising them. Just because they rich, and he's saying like, they sitting at the top, but they ain't doing nothing but making stuff worse and destroying stuff. And now this man is just saying some crazy stuff. He talking about killing people who has inherited over $5 million. And if they die and a family inherited, he gonna kill all of them. He talking about just killing all the rich. So now we cut to Tim and Bruce talking about the crime that happened. And that so happened to be one of Bruce's friends. And now they're talking about memories, stating how he used to use him to cement Bruce's Playboy status. And then Robin brings up the fact that he always wanted Bruce to settle down, but Bruce like, I can't even afford the luxury while the bad guys out here. And now Tim brings up the fact that him and the Bat family members have been concerned about Bruce because he's been spending more time as Batman and not as much as Bruce Wayne, but he lost his fortune. So he's basically telling Tim like, yo, I've been having more free time to be Batman, so I'm gonna just do that. And so if you're wondering how Batman lost his money, it takes place during the Joker War story arc. So Bruce is telling Tim about this gala that he's been invited to. Even though he still lost his money, he's still able to go. And he also tells Tim that it's the Penguin's next target. And Tim is like, yo, won't they cancel it? Bruce like, nah, this city wanna die. So now Bruce arrives at the gala, and then we see he has Tim check out the place. And then Tim manages to sneak in Bruce's utility belt. But then Bruce tells Tim, like, yo, I'm sure Penguin will use gas to like kill all these people. Now we see Bruce retrieving his utility belt, and we see that he's talking highly of Tim Drake and how good of a man he is and how good of a Robin he has been. Then Tim realizes like, hey, yo, Bruce, you right. He about to use some gas to kill all these people. And then Bruce is like, all right, bro, I got it. I'm on it. I'll take him out. And now we see Penguin. He got on the gas mask. And he talking about, welcome to your death. And then everybody just takes off. And then Bruce like, bro, we all clear, bro. Then Tim like, yeah, bro, I already put the neutralizer agent up in there. And then they get to work. They putting the paws on them criminals up in there. And now Penguin saw that it ain't going this way, but Bruce like, bro, you bold for this, cuz. And now we see that it turns out it really wasn't Penguin. It was really Clayface. And now this was unexpected because I did not expect to see Clayface at all. And we see that Penguin made Clayface do this. In case everybody didn't die from the gas, he was going to destroy the building to kill the people inside of there. And now Batman is telling Clayface like, hey, bro, you better help me with this. I got something that'll just blow you up. Like, you got to help me now. And now Tim is trying to get the people out of there by blowing up the doors. Then we see somebody that works for Penguin aiming his gun, and he shoots Tim in the neck. And now we see him bleeding out on the ground. Crazy. I was really shocked by Tim getting shot. You just gotta expect the unexpected in comics, bro. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. And now the building explodes. Batman like, bro, Clayface, if you don't save these people, you're done. Bruce is now rushing to get Tim into the Batmobile so he can take him to the hospital because they hit an artery. But Tim is like, yo, you gotta get me out my suit or they gonna know who I am. And now we see Bruce thinking back on the time that he had to do this once before when Jason Todd was robbing. And we all know that this takes a toll on Bruce because back when it happened with Jason, he almost let the world know that he was Batman and he was going to give it up. But all he could think about was the mission of being Batman. So now we see Bruce is in a hospital room. I'm wondering who's in there. And now he's telling this person that out of all the bad decisions you made, this was the worst. And we see that it's Penguin laying in the hospital bed. And he tells Batman that he's dying from mercury poisoning. And now we see Penguin has done all this because the rich people, the elites, quote unquote, have never given him the time of day and they just look down on him. So he is mad about that. So he's caused all this destruction because of that. Now we see Batman telling Penguin like, bro, you wasn't a man of the people and now you about to be in jail. And Penguin says that he left Batman for last, knowing that he couldn't kill him, but that he can end him. And now Penguin overdoses on a pill that he took, and now Batman is trying to keep him alive. And so now the doctors and nurses come in the room, and they see Batman in there, and they think he killed him. And now it's witnesses both inside and outside. So now we see Bruce and Barbara Gordon talking, and she is checking up on him, since, you know, the word around town is Batman is a murderer. And she also tells him like, yo, you haven't visited Tim yet in the hospital. But you could tell that like his mind is scrambled. And he tells her like, yo, I'm fine. But deep down, like he's telling himself like he's not fine and that he's also lost. And now we're back at the Batcave. We see that the beeps are continuously going on. And now it says complete and activated. And it says online twice. And it says Failsafe online. We got this robot named Failsafe. And I'm just like, what is this? So here's starting out the issue. We see Batman speaking highly of the Bat family members, and he calls them brave, and he speaks on how they are protecting Gotham just like him and protecting other cities. And he never thought they would come this far when he started. And now we see that Tim Drake is alive and he doing good. And so Batman calls out to Robin, and Bruce is like, what are you doing? And Tim is like, yo, I'm doing my job just like you. And then Bruce brings up like, yo, you're not ready. You should have been like paying attention to your surroundings like while you was there. But Tim is like, yo, like I'm out here saving people just like you. And now Tim is like, yo, does that remind you of what happened to Jason and Alfred? In which it did, because back in 125, Bruce had some PTSD because of it. Tim is telling Bruce like, yo, you don't run me, and I don't even wear a batsuit like you. But this what Tim really meant.
You're not my dad!
And so now we see Bruce headed to the Batcave, and he's talking about how he's been feeling uneasy, talking about the Joker nightmares in his past, that he couldn't marry Selena, but he's looking at his present and talking about how the Bat family members, you know, Barbara Gordon, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Duke Thomas, Cassandra Cain, and that's just to name a few. Even Damian, like he just want them to be happy, but knowing the life they're living and working with him, he knows that happiness won't be a part of it. And Bruce also brings up the fact that since Penguin has died, new thugs and new criminals gonna rise up. Now we see Bruce in the Batcave, and he's looking at stuff, and then he notices something behind him, and it is Failsafe, and Failsafe just attacks him. And Bruce starts to fight back, but he is overwhelmed by Failsafe, and he know like, yo, I gotta get up out of here because it is too much for him right now. So now Bruce calls the Batmobile, and he latches onto it just to get up out of there. And he throws some bombs at Failsafe just to get up through. And now we got Bruce fleeing the scene, and he's in the street. But then he starts talking to Barbara like, yo, we got a new enemy, and it's robotic. And then we see Failsafe just sprinting at him. and they about to get to scrapping. So now we see Batman attacking Failsafe, but we see Failsafe coming at him at full speed, and he just booms Batman's ribs, and he hits like a light pole, and he tells Barbara like, yo, this ain't good. And I know some of his ribs is probably broken, possibly shattered from that. Back to this for a second. Barbara tells Bruce that Failsafe has some of Amazo tech in them. And if you don't know about the Amazos, they are androids and they can use the Justice League powers against them. Like, they can absorb their powers and just use them against them. It's crazy. Like, they are deadly. Back to the story. Now we see Bruce trying to get away, then Failsafe just yanks him to the ground, catching him by his cape. Then he just starts beating him up. And Bruce is like, bruh, who are you? And the robot says, Justice, Failsafe. And then out of nowhere, we see Signal, Duke Thomas, attack Failsafe. And he shows up with Stephanie Brown and Cassandra Cain. And they get beaten by Failsafe themselves. He straight overpowered all three of them. Now all of them were defeated. And now we see Failsafe standing over Batman. But then Duke comes back and starts to attack Failsafe. Like, yo, get up out of here. And we see Tim helping Bruce. And he like, yo, we got help back at the Batcave, but Failsafe hears it. So now they're trying to get away. And Bruce is like, yo, Failsafe, it sounds familiar. And now they're just starting to get away. And Tim like, yo, he fast. And somebody says that they're sorry they're late to the party. Now Tim is like, huh? And it's Nightwing pulling up to fight. And he drives over the Batmobile and uses his motorcycle to attack Failsafe. Talk about an entry though, that was raw. So now we have a standoff, and I'm ready to see the fight. And now Barbara is trying to get in contact with Nightwing, and something is blocking her signal, but I think it's Failsafe doing it. So now with bad communications, Nightwing like, yo, we on our own out here. And then Failsafe takes off in the sky. Then he just slams into the ground, and then he starts attacking everybody. Nightwing is checking for everybody, but Failsafe like, yo, you cannot stop me, and you should not attempt to. And he continues to beat them with words in his hands. He says that they are nothing and that they just hide in a caves. And now he has the location of the Batcave. And now we see Dr. Tompkins in the Batcave, and she's trying to get in touch with Oracle, but she can't get in touch with her. And Failsafe is like, yo, she not there, like scaring the doctor. And now Dr. Tompkins is asking, who are you? And Failsafe says, it is the end of Batman. So now Bruce and Tim arrive at the old Batcave. And Tim is like, yo, you need help. But Bruce is like, nah, I gotta do something. And I gotta do it by myself. And now Bruce is saying, none of the Bat family will understand what he is about to do and the lengths that he has gone through and how he has lightened himself since surrounding himself with them. While on the other hand, remembering how dark he has went in his early days as Batman. Bruce says Failsafe is familiar, but he remembers everything, so it's an aberration that runs clean across his memory. And he also says that there is a ticking inside of his head, like he knows there is only so much that he can take before it's time to do something different. And Bruce says he's only done this to himself. And we see Tim trying to get in contact with Barbara. And then he's interrupted by someone talking in the shadows, and they say, only one man could have done this to me. A failsafe for a failsafe. And the voice says that he needs answers, so he falls aside and not take over. And Tim is like, what? And the voice is like, it's okay. It's me, Batman. And Bruce has on the Zur-N-R suit. Crazy. And so if you don't know about the Zur-N-R, back during the Silver Age, Batman was transported to another planet, and he helped another Batman fight off these robots, and he had powers. Bruce had powers on that planet, so they defeated them robots easily. And so now in the more modern times, Bruce only uses Zur-N-R as a last resort, and when he uses it, he goes completely unhinged. It's straight violence. Zur-N-R is basically like a backup plan. If like everything fails, he's gonna go to that. And that's a different personality for him. It's like, imagine like Bruce with no restraint. That's what Zur-N-R is. So here we start off, we got a little backstory. We see Batman and Superman talking. And Superman is talking to him about like, yo, you had all the files on us. And he's talking about the time that Batman had all the contingency plans to like defeat the Justice League if they ever got out of control. And Batman was voted out of the Justice League for that. And on top of that, none of the Justice League members knew. It fell into the bad guy's hands. And it's just the fact that Batman had it and nobody else knew about it. But of course, it's Batman. He got his secrets. And if you want to know more about this, you can read Justice League Tower of Babel or watch the movie Justice League Doom, because it's like the same premise, but just in the comic is I was about to say Talia al Ghul, but it's Ra's al Ghul, but in Justice League Doom is Vandal Savage. So now Superman is pressing Bruce about this situation, and Bruce is telling him like, yo, I made a mistake, but the mistake wasn't the fact that he had contingency plans on the Justice League. It was the fact that the contingency plans weren't secure enough, and then they did fall into the wrong hands. That was Batman's mistake. And so now Superman asks Bruce like, what's the plan to take down Batman? And Bruce tell him, it's you. It's the Justice League. And Clark is real curious about this because Bruce usually stays like 2 steps ahead, so he needs to know how to take Bruce down if he got to. Now we're in the present, and we see Tim noticing Batman, but he thinks it's Bruce, but it's really Zur-En-Arrh. And he asking him like, yo, what do you have on? Why do you sound like this? But Zur-En-Arrh like, yo, I'm Batman, but I'm Zur-En-Arrh Batman. Yo, Batman called on me, so now I'm out here. Tim's still thinking it's Bruce, and Zur-En-Arrh's like, I'm better. Whole time Zur-En-Arrh like,
I'm better than you, my shape up better, my car faster, my drip better.
Zur-En-Arrh is telling Tim that basically Bruce created him as a backup plan. And Zur-En-Arrh is free of all the stuff of Bruce Wayne. And he protects him from like psychological attacks. And now Zur-En-Arrh Batman is telling Tim like, yo, I created Failsafe in case Bruce went too far. And Tim is like, yo, of course he would create a contingency plan for the contingency plan. And Zur-En-Arrh tells Tim also that he wiped Bruce's mind of that memory of creating him, which is crazy. And if you watch my video on Batman 126, you'll see that Batman says Failsafe is familiar, but he really don't remember. But he has some type of acknowledgement of him. Cut back to this panel real quick. So Tim Drake was looking at this Robin suit, and I'm like, is that a Zur-En-Arrh like Robin suit? That would be crazy if both Bruce and Tim Drake wore like Zur-En-Arrh suits. That would be crazy. And now we see Failsafe coming to the Batcave, and he's searching around. And he peeps that it's Zur-En-Arrh Batman now. So then Bruce shoots a missile at him, bruh. A missile. Bruh, and it hits Failsafe. And now Zur-En-Arrh throws something at Tim. And then they start attacking with these swords. I'm like, yo, this is raw. What is this? And now Failsafe is telling them like, yo, Batman took a life. And Tim like, what? He was framed for it, which he was. But Failsafe is still activated just because Batman was framed. Like, it don't even matter. It was like Batman did it, so Failsafe activated. So after the explosion, they on the ground. And Tim is running at Bruce. Like, well, not even Bruce, it's Zur-En-Arrh. He tells him like, yo, you might be Zur-En-Arrh, but you still in Bruce's body, so we gotta go. And now we see Nightwing talking to Renee Montoya, who is the commissioner of Gotham. And she is worried for him. But then Nightwing gets contacted by Barbara Gordon. And she tell him like, yo, we got more problems because Failsafe laid traps all across Gotham. And Nightwing now is like, yo, we gon' need backup. I'm gonna call for help. Now we see Tim and Batman getting away from Failsafe. And Zur-En-Arrh like, we gotta get ready to fight again. But Tim is like, bro, we almost just got killed. We gotta be like smarter and strategic about it. And he like, yo, if you really Batman without Bruce, you need to start acting like it. Basically like calling him out. And now here comes Failsafe once again. And Zur-En-Arrh has now given Tim something. It's a tracer on it just so they can see where Failsafe would be at. And they say he's in his 30. And he's walking through destroying stuff. And Zur-En-Arrh attacks him as soon as he was about to touch that picture of Alfred. And they start working again with them swords. I don't know what it is. Them swords is raw. And now Failsafe just throws Tim and telling him like it's wrong to fight for Batman. All he cares about is his mission, and that fighting for your family causes pain. And Zero is saying they are not his family. They are just soldiers in his army. And that the war ain't done. But Failsafe like, you created me to stop you. Now Tim is down, he need help. And Zero and Failsafe are still fighting. And we see Bruce speaking up out of Zero, like out of the back of his mind, telling him like, yo, don't lose sight of what you fighting for. And now we see Bruce actually in the mind like, yo, I'll let you out because I thought you could beat him. And Zero like, I created him. And now Zero is telling him like, yo, he know all your tricks, he know everything about you. But Bruce is like, I'm Bruce Wayne, I'm Batman. And he tells Zero like, yo, Tim is not my soldier, he's my son. So now Bruce is back out. It's really Bruce this time. He's telling Tim to get away from him as far as possible. Then Failsafe grabs him. And now Bruce is trying to fight Failsafe. And he's doing some stuff, but he's still getting beat. And now he like, yo, I gotta get to the Batcave because he think the self-destruction gonna work. But Failsafe says he deactivated it, bro. Crazy. Now Batman just drops to the ground. And all he could think about is his son and think about the past memories while he's laying around while the manor is on fire. And now Failsafe is walking towards him. He asks himself like, is this a good death? And he says it would be a good death. But Batman doesn't die. And now Failsafe is standing over Batman, probably about to put an end to him. But Batman says he doesn't hear Failsafe, but he hears him. And now we know that it's Clark Kent. And he tells him like, hey, yo, get away from my friend. But Failsafe, bro, he tells him, I urge you to fly away. Bro, I'm like, hey, yo, what? And now we see Superman, Clark Kent, ready to fight Failsafe. I'm ready for the next issue already, man. Like, I can't wait. So we start here with Clark telling Failsafe to get away from Batman. And Superman is trying to see how Failsafe works using his X-ray vision, but he can't. And I'm like, this is crazy because what did Batman use to put in Failsafe to where Superman can't even use his X-ray vision? Because when Superman uses his X-ray vision, he can see the anatomy and the physiology of how something works. And now Batman is saying Superman is worried about making the wrong move. And I would be worried too, because if I had that power X-ray vision, then it just suddenly doesn't normally work on something, I would be worried. Especially if something that's a threat like Failsafe is in front of me. Now Failsafe says he advises Superman to leave. And I am very glad that Clark Kent is not a very prideful person, because he gets up through. And Failsafe is chasing him. And as you look closer, it's like kryptonite swords. So of course Clark will get up through. Now Superman flies up to use his heat vision. And I think it was a way to have Failsafe chase him in another direction. But Batman knows what Superman is doing. And he like, no, like don't do it. So now Superman says no. And he just chases after Failsafe anyway. Then he gets stabbed by another one of those kryptonite things. Now I'm just like, yeah, Clark is done. Like, he got stabbed through his stomach. He's done. And out of nowhere, Green Arrow shows up and starts attacking Failsafe. And then Martian Manhunter comes through and knocks Failsafe out the building. And Black Canary and Hawkgirl is here too. And back in issue 127, Batman told Robin to go call for help. So Tim calls for help from some of the Justice League. Now we see Batman and Superman both just laid out. Bro, how is we finna be Failsafe right now? How? Now Clark asks Bruce like, bro, what is that thing? And Bruce tells Clark, like, it's something that can take me out. Then Batman goes up to Superman and he rips out the kryptonite that was in his stomach, causing a lot of pain to Superman. Then after Batman patches up Superman, he passes out. And now Robin and Green Arrow, they take Batman and Superman and they put him inside the Justice League jet. And Black Canary and Hawkgirl are doing what they can to hold off Failsafe. Now Oliver leaves Tim by himself to go back out there and fight Failsafe. And when I seen Failsafe grab him like this, I'm like, bro, this is just a giant L, bro. Now Tim is about to start flying the ship, and Bruce, mustering up the strength that he has, he tells him some coordinates to fly to. Now Martian Manhunter and Hawkgirl go attack Failsafe to get him off Green Arrow. And he hits Martian Manhunter with some laser beams. Then he tells him not to follow, and he takes off into the sky. I'm like, where is he going? And when Failsafe grabbed Green Arrow right here, Tim called an Oracle and Failsafe heard him. So I think he about to go follow Tim. Crazy. And Martian Manhunter is like, it's not chasing a jet. It's headed towards Gotham. Man, can we just please catch a break? Please. So now Failsafe is in Gotham. And the Justice League shows up to fight Failsafe to stop him from doing whatever he about to do. Then some type of magnetism stops Hawkgirl from flying because her wings are made out of nth metal. Then these guns come out the walls and they start shooting fire at Martian Manhunter, which is his only weakness. And Black Canary uses her screen powers, then his mask comes out of nowhere and stops her. So Black Canary passes out and Green Arrow runs over to her. And Nightwing is telling him like, yo, get her up out of here. But Green Arrow is like, yo, she's dying. And Failsafe says she's not, but it's only enough air to where she can just live, but not scream. And Nightwing tells Oracle where they at. And Oracle is like, didn't Bruce on that block? Then Nightwing realizes that Failsafe lured them to that street. And it has stuff within the buildings to stop the Justice League. And Green Arrow asks Nightwing what part is supposed to stop us. Then Failsafe flies in saying me. He flies in at both Nightwing and Green Arrow. Bro, we lost. Now we cut to this jet that's flying through the sky. And Bruce gets up to leave because he knows that Failsafe is coming for him. And he tells Tim that Superman is dying. And that he's the world's greatest weapon. And he changed the coordinates to Superman's fortress. And he does that because Clark will get healed all the way when he goes there. Now Bruce is telling Tim like, yo, you're Robin, you will save him. And Bruce believes that Tim can do it. And he tells Tim not to worry about him and that he's proud of the man that he has become. Then Bruce jumps out the jet telling Tim that he will survive this. Now Tim yells off of Bruce because he doesn't know what he's doing and he's scared. Then Bruce lands in the water. Then when he's in the water, this light beam starts to go off. And I'm like, nah, he ain't about to do what I think he's doing. And he actually did do what I thought he was doing. He called for Aquaman and Aquaman came to save him. Now Bruce wakes up and I think he fell into a coma after sustaining all them injuries and just falling asleep. And after Bruce wakes up, Arthur tells him that they've been able to heal most of his wounds internally and externally. And Batman been in a coma for 2 weeks. And Aquaman tells Bruce that Gotham has fallen. And now Failsafe created other robots to look around the city for anybody that's resistant. And most people have been captured. And Failsafe been using Barbara Gordon as some type of like mom machine. And Aquaman tells Bruce that he's been assumed dead, but Failsafe has just been looking around still. And as soon they're going to come to Atlantis. And Failsafe has been calling for Batman because he knows that he can't stay away from Gotham. And for what's to come, Batman always has a plan. Then we see Failsafe destroys the bat signal. And Failsafe sends out these drones and they start lighting up around the city. And I'm wondering what it's for. What did he do this for? And Arthur tells Bruce that Failsafe wants him in the world to know that Gotham is his and that Batman has to come get it. Alright man, we got Batman 129 and Gotham is in shambles. So we got this family walking through Gotham unsafe and unguarded, and Failsafe has locked the city down and nobody can get in and nobody can get out. And all the criminals are loose. And Failsafe defeated everybody that could help within Gotham. And the criminals everywhere are just doing evil. They're just killing people and stuff. Just doing wrong. And Failsafe is just there letting it happen. Because his main focus is finding Batman. And now we cut to Bruce. And he's in Atlantis watching his city just be destroyed and in chaos. And I know Bruce is thinking like, yo, I'll let this happen. Which is wrong because like, bro, you was in a coma. So of course a lot of havoc is going to happen in Gotham. But I know he wants to step in and do something about it. So Aquaman tells Batman that it's traps all over Gotham. And some of the Justice League members tried to help and get through. But they've been taken out one by one. And Aquaman is curious to know what is Bruce's plan. And Bruce tells Aquaman about Zur-En-Arrh. And he lets Aquaman know that Zur-En-Arrh created Failsafe just in case Bruce went too far and killed somebody, whether on purpose or on accident. It didn't matter. And what makes this even crazier is that Batman was framed. Penguin killed himself and Batman was framed for it, and Failsafe was still activated. And it's gonna be hard for Batman to even plan anything because Failsafe knows all his moves, knows his plans. He just knows everything about him. And Failsafe was scanning everything, the news, radios, all that, just in case Batman went too far. And Alfred was supposed to reset the activation for false alarms on Failsafe, but Alfred is dead. And Arthur knows that Failsafe will come to Atlantis because he knows Batman's moves. And he tells Batman that he has endangered Atlantis, but Bruce knows that he can't even argue with it because Arthur is right. And now we cut to Gotham and we see Oracle and Failsafe. And Failsafe is using Oracle as some type of mind machine. And he's using her to see who is in Gotham, to see if anybody will try to help them. Now Failsafe is looking at these different scenarios that Batman has to get rid of them. And they crazy for real. And he tells Nightwing that none of the plans involve coming to save them. And Nightwing tells him like, bro, Bruce finna come put the paws on you, bro. And Batman knows that Failsafe won't kill them. And Failsafe is saying that Batman is allowing them to suffer. And he brings up the fact that he knows Batman because he is Batman. And that goes back to the fact that Zdarsky created Failsafe just for Bruce. And he tells Nightwing that the only thing that will bring Bruce home is Gotham. And now Failsafe has had Barbara checking around for other superheroes in connection with Batman. And 78% of the heroes couldn't get into Gotham or they were captured. And other heroes had other things going on. And now Failsafe sees that Aquaman has had 0 activity since he was activated. So he knows something is up. Now we back in Atlantis. And Aquaman is telling the Atlantean soldiers like, yo, do not underestimate Failsafe. And one of the soldiers questioned him about protecting Batman. And he says they should just hand Batman over to him. And Arthur gets in his face like, yo, how many times you saved this planet? And that it's because of Batman that you live and breathe in this ocean. And he tells him to just defend it. Now Aquaman is looking in his room and he sees it's a hole in the ground. I'm like, bro, what's finna happen? And it's Failsafe and he attacks Arthur and he stabs him through the chest. Man, I'm like, bro, we is down another Justice League member. What is we finna do? How is Bruce Wayne, Batman, going to beat Failsafe? And now Failsafe takes Arthur out and Failsafe questions the soldiers, asking them, where is Batman? And this dude just tells him, bro, like, come on, bro. And now they're going to where Batman was supposedly at, but he is gone. And I'm wondering where he's at, and it turns out that he is at the Justice League's watchtower, and he used the Justice League transporter to get there. And then Failsafe shows up at the watchtower. I have no words. Now Batman sees him approaching and he launches a missile at Failsafe. And I'm like, I hope that worked. It turns out it didn't. Only damaged him a little bit, but it ain't worked thoroughly. Now he lands there at the watchtower. I'm like, bro, what's finna happen, bro? And he breaks through the building. And Batman sees all this, so he heads to the Justice League armory. And Bruce pulls out the Blick, some type of weapon to use against Failsafe. And Failsafe is searching around the building, looking for him. And now Bruce is hiding, waiting to take the shot. And he does it, and it hits Failsafe, hitting his outer shell, which it works, how he planned. But Failsafe howling though, like he talking trash, saying it's ineffective, like it's not working. And now they start to scrap, they throwing hands at each other. Then Failsafe destroys the gun. And now they continue to fight. Failsafe almost gets Batman, but Batman dodges it. And now Batman is trying to get away. Failsafe is like, not fast enough. Now Batman opens the airlock in the watchtower, and that pushes Failsafe back outside in space. And now that Failsafe is back outside, that gives Bruce 30 more seconds to do what he has to do. And now Bruce is on the move, and then Failsafe breaks back into the watchtower. I'm just like, bro, this dude is unstoppable. How is Batman finna beat him? Now Batman is in this tube, and Failsafe is telling him like, you can't escape. But then I see Batman has on like this air mask, and Failsafe realizes something. Batman reversed the teleportation system. Then it just blows up like crazy, and there's so much pressure from it, it blows Batman and Failsafe out the building. Now after the building exploded, Failsafe was wrapped up in some type of capturing thing, and he breaks out of it. And then he looks up at a statue of Batman, which is his target. Now we see Batman and parts of the watchtower floating through the cold space. And Batman is calling for his javelins to get him out of space, but they are all inoperable. And part of the watchtower that he needed, he sees it's destroyed. And Batman needs help, but there are no ships and no teleporters to help. And he is falling through the cold space back to Earth. So Bruce is still out in space, and he's 240,000 miles away from Earth. And Failsafe destroyed all the ships that Batman could have gotten away with. And side note, for the other videos that I made about Batman, if you haven't watched them, I'm gonna put the link in the description so y'all can watch them. And now we see his O2 levels are at 4%, leaving him 14 minutes left of air. And he sees a ship, and he uses his grappling gun to push him towards it. And he takes the supplied oxygen that ship had, and it gives him 12 hours and 17 minutes. And he has to use that wisely. And now he takes that ship's booster to head to Earth. And he knows that he can't head back to the moon because he knows Failsafe will be there. And with the booster, he can't use it for more than 4 seconds because he will pass out. And I thought he was going to be able to use the booster like just hold it and head on home. But nah, he got to use it in repetitions. And after 60 bursts, he said he should be able to get up to 40,000 miles per hour. But since he has limited oxygen, he must aim precisely. Now like 30 minutes go by and he's making progress getting closer to Earth, but it starts to wear on him. And his O2 levels were at 91%, leaving 11 hours and 46 minutes. And now it's at 26% with 3 hours and 15 minutes left. And he's been using the booster in repetitions how he said he had to. And as y'all can see, he was turning around the booster. And now he's using the booster to decelerate. And the deceleration hurts just as much as acceleration. And now he continues to use the repetitions because if he uses it for too long, he will pass out. But guess what happens? He passed out. And he wakes up with the O2 level of 12%. And that leaves him with 2.5 hours of air. And now I think he passed out again, or the time might be just going down fast since he's heading closer to Earth. But the time remaining is 1 hour and 2 minutes, so he must have passed out again. And now Batman cuts the line to the oxygen because it's getting too hot, and then out of nowhere, it explodes. And now he has nothing to help him land safely on Earth. Then he takes a laser and cuts the trunks off his suit, and he uses it as an oxygen mask. And his suit can withstand the heat because it's made of a certain fabric, but the oxygen mask can't, so he has to hold his breath the entire time there. And now as he's closer to landing, he uses his Batcape to slow himself down, but he has to use restraint on that as well or his insides will collapse. And when he gets closer to the ground, he braces himself. And when he lands, he hits the ground like a meteor. And somehow Batman manages to survive, but it's because he's Batman. And he gets up, ready to fight because he knows that Failsafe is on his way. And Batman knows that he can stop him. And now we see Superman has woken up and he starts to get out of his healing chamber. And Tim runs over and tells him like, bro, your solar treatment wasn't even done yet. But Clark tells him that he heard Bruce. Then we see Bruce walking in and he says he needs access to Clark's workshop. And if you didn't know, they're in Superman's Fortress of Solitude. And Tim reminds Bruce like, yo, didn't you want me to keep him away from you? And he asks him what happened and Bruce tells Tim that he fell from the moon. Then Bruce asks Clark how's he doing, but Clark says that he's not 100%. And since Clark is getting closer to 100%, Batman says that he needs Clark to buy him some time. And Bruce is going to use that time to end this fight once and for all. And now we see Failsafe has followed Batman and he's walking through the snow. And then Clark comes out of nowhere in an armored suit to fight Failsafe. And Clark says that he wasn't prepared last time, but now he is. And Failsafe says we'll see while he tries to stab Clark with a kryptonite sword. Then Failsafe gets stolen by Clark. He got sent straight into a mountain. And now Superman runs up on Failsafe. And then Failsafe says he knows everything about Superman and the things he don't even know about himself. And when I was reading it, I'm just wondering where he was getting at with this. And he says Kryptonians are just like humans. They have pressure points. And since Failsafe touched Superman's pressure points, it causes his laser eyes to shoot into the mask he had on, and they got directed back to his own face. Then his face mask breaks because of it. Then Failsafe says Clark is a good friend, and he gets up and grabs the shard of kryptonite. And I'm just like, what is he finna do? And now we back at the Fortress of Solitude, and Batman and Robin are coming up with a plan. And Bruce tells Tim everything he did and used to stop Failsafe. And there was a laser that Bruce used called the New Genesis Element X laser in a previous issue, and that put a small hole in Failsafe back, and that was the only damage he received. And Tim says they could just throw some explosives at him, but Bruce says nah, that ain't gonna work. And Failsafe is made with certain programs and a normal virus won't stop him. And Bruce says they have to add programming that won't immediately attack his original. And Tim asks him, what if it doesn't work? Then my heart drops, bro, like, dang, what if it don't work? Like, what if Batman and Robin do fail? And now Batman thinks of his nightmare, and it's the Joker, murdering Tim and the rest of his family. Then Bruce starts to question himself, but he says he will beat Failsafe and save everybody. Because Failsafe was designed to beat Batman, but Failsafe does not stand a chance against Batman and Robin. Now we see Failsafe dragging Clark, and he says, nowhere to hide. And Batman says, who's hiding? And Batman and Robin take off towards Failsafe to fight him and defeat him. And as they're about to fight, Batman starts to think of the teamwork that he's had with all of his Robins. He said that Nightwing always went off the book and Jason just hated practicing it. But Tim, he loved it. And he knew that him and Tim will have each other's backs. And Failsafe starts to beat them up, but Batman says this time around it's different. They're not fighting prisoners or villains, but Batman says they're up against himself, no strengths or weaknesses. And Batman jumps over Failsafe, adding a programming chip, and that causes Failsafe to go frantic. And the additional programming he added to Failsafe was compassion, and he says he may be the Dark Knight, but he still cares. And now Failsafe does as well. And Failsafe spirals out, but he comes back to his normal self, and he knows he needs to eliminate Batman. And now Batman and Robin realize that the extra programming did not work. And now Tim is trying to convince Failsafe to stand down. And Bruce says it's too late, because Batman is like everybody else. He survived everything until he didn't. Then he thinks about his nightmare and he remembers it. Then he looks to Tim and tells him it's okay. And he gets cut off with his next sentence because Failsafe blasts him with a laser. And Batman is gone. And now Tim says that Failsafe should have had compassion. But Failsafe says that was compassion. And now Failsafe leaves because Batman is eliminated and his program has ended. And Tim just sits there and distraught. Now, we end this issue and we see Batman's body laying on the ground. But is he alive or is he dead? And what did that laser blast really do? Find out on the next episode of Batman.